Hello. So I'm making clam chowder today because a lot of people ask how I make it, and usually I make it for them, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to keep teaching it. So I thought it'd be easier. I'd be like, hey, go look at the YouTube thing because I don't feel like talking. So, anyways, I'll explain everything I'm doing right now. Whoops, almost blew myself up. Okay, what you're gonna need is bacon. I got my stuff for Fresh and Easy, so I don't know if you want to see names, but get any kind of bacon, as long as it's not sweetened, just regular bacon. I usually get 2 packs, depending on the people you're serving. I'm serving about 7, so of course I got 2. You're going to need bacon for the stew itself, or the chowder, and you're going to need it for a garnish. Usually, if there's something in the soup that people can't see or don't know about, you usually use some type of garnish, whatever it is, to let them know there's bacon in there. Especially those for religion and stuff, since, you know, for Jewish, the Jewish religion, they can't eat pork, so they see that on top. Anyways, 2 of these are known to me as mise en place, but stew mix is just onion, celery, and carrots. I bought 2. That's a good thing to put in there. Bacon, minced up, as you can see. What I'm gonna do is I'm already gonna start this up. You're gonna need, of course, a stew pot. Put it on. There's no oil, no nothing inside, because the fat from this will cook everything else. You're also going to need, I use red potatoes because they cook much faster than brown, whipping cream, and if you needed the soup to be, of course, thicker, you put this flour, which is going to be in there either way, but it's going to be even thicker. And to make it thinner, you just add milk. So there's that. Clam juice. This is everything here is from Fresh and Easy, except for the potatoes. They're from 99 cents store. And clams, chopped. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is heat this up. You can just let it even sit in there, so it doesn't matter for the dog. You just throw it in there. It don't matter. And I think this might need to be like that. Yes.
We had a birthday
Yeah.
on it too.
See, that's not so annoying.
I'm editing
No, you just keep it in there. People see what editing is. Dirty dishes, dirty dishes. Dirty, clean.
They can't see.
Okay, then you don't. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get this ready. This is easy because I don't have to sit there and chop everything up. Pre-chop. This doesn't go until a little bit after. Oh, I hate onions, and because onions is such a strong smell. So hopefully this will be enough. If you can come in here real quick. You don't want it to get crispy. You don't want crispy particles inside your soup unless it's what's on top. So, what you really want is just for it to be brown, just kind of like soggy bacon. So what you're going to do is once the bacon is cooked and the fats have kind of seeped out, there's some liquid inside, you're going to separate the bacon. Put it in a different tray or whatever, separate it. Okay. Because you don't want it to overcook inside the meal and you have chewy bacon. So what you're going to do is separate it, you throw in the mise en place, and you let that, I'm trying to do the word, I can't think of it right now, but you're going to let it sit in there for a while until it, not caramelizes, you don't want to caramelize, you want it just to sweat it out. The onions will be see-through, so that's how you'll know. Obviously if you just know cooking, then you'll know that they're ready to be soft. Sticking your hand in here is kind of suicide. All the fat jumping around. Almost. I can't give you exact measurements because I've done it so many times that I don't need to measure. Go based off whatever. Well, another thing you're going to need obviously is pepper and what I use a lot is kosher sauce. You don't have to, but it gives it, it's healthier and it gives it a better, stronger taste. So basically it's clam chowder. So now this is, I believe, I don't know if it's New England. I know there's a bunch. This is one I was taught. So I don't quite remember what it was. You don't have to have bacon in it. Everyone has their own turn on it, obviously. There's New England clam chowder, but let's see. Trying to keep you guys entertained while I'm waiting for that. As for this extra bacon, let's see. I'm gonna just save it because that might be already too much. Too much fat is not good. If ever you have fat on top of your soup or whatever you're making, a soup like, one thing I do is I like to try to spoon it up. Get a paper towel and lay it on top, just slightly skim it across, and the fat should come off, hopefully. If you can see, it's all that in there. It's the fat. Letting it go some more, cook a little bit more. Now, you gotta make sure it's halfway cooked. You don't want it to be fully brown because, again, if you put it in later and it comes out chewy, too chewy for the soup, then people are gonna be you know? So it's all about timing when you put it in. But I'm going to put the bacon in. Anything? Probably can't hear me that well. Because I got this on, and I'm not allowed to talk to this stuff. You just me. Oh, another thing I got from Fresh and Easy is the bread bowl. So, you know, a lot of people like it at Disneyland in the bread bowl. So I usually just buy bread, sourdough, and I spoon out the bread, cut it, spoon it, and turn it into a bowl. So, you just use that. I want to say it's ready, but it's not taking forever. Good thing to make things cook faster. Put a lid on it. To me. Trap the heat on them. Other than that, another thing, when you open these up, make sure you drain whatever's in it. It's not the same as having this clam juice. This just smells really bad. This actually just smells like fishiness, which to me gives the soup a taste, but the aroma too. Another thing is I do not like seafood at all. I do not. And the only thing I get close to seafood is shrimp and imitation crab. So, so I make sure that my soups do not taste like seafood. So I make it taste more like potato soup, but it still has the seafood taste or flavor. But waiting. What else? That's about it. These potatoes don't go in until later. Don't put them in right away, because they will overcook and turn into mashed potatoes, so you don't want that. Cooking is all about chemistry, you know? Obviously, you put it too soon, mashed potatoes, too late, then they're raw, and you get botulism. Yeah, so you don't want that. There it is. Still looks officially well. These might be too big too, so I might rechop them again, but either way. We need all that precious fat in there. And it will get cooked inside the soup. You guys will be surrounded by all the heated liquid, so either way, it's cooked. You can even cook it separately on a different thing. One difficult thing is that there's not that much fat in here. For one, even though it's whole bacon, there's nothing but fat. Yeah, there's not that much. So, where did I learn to mix it? The cordon bleu. Do I guarantee going there? I mean, do I recommend going there? No, not necessarily. You get the same education for a lower price at a community college. You just pay for the name. But, I still win. Learned everything the hard way. Now I owe 50 grand. Of course it's changed now. Now it's like 15 to go instead of 50. So, that's horrible. Alright, well that's all I can get. Quickly gonna put in the mise en place. Look at this damn onion. I just want to cover it in the fat. Cover. Basically covered. Low heat. I'm going to save the other mise en place. I don't think I need it because with all the bacon and all that, it's just going to be overpowering. So, this will go back into the fridge. So support your local farmers and fresh and easies, I guess. Or whatever other markets you have. Now I'm going to start cutting the potatoes. You're going to obviously want to wash this if you don't want cross-contamination. There you go, you just killed your whole family just cooking. I believe I'm just going to use the other side, but I'm putting on caution. When you're using a cutting board, especially on a surface like this, a towel under it will keep it from shaking everywhere. Still shake, so not sliding. Clean the knife too. This is a real nice one. Just got it from school. You know what's a good knife, they say, when the metal goes straight through the handle. So, made from Germany. This is one Cordon Bleu gave good knives away. One for free, of course. So, whenever something is too hot, don't just turn it off and let it sit there, obviously. You guys probably know this. Move it away, because the heat there's no heat here, and here it's still cooking. And one thing I learned that I never knew about was that you can boil something really high, and turn the heat down, and it might stop simmering, but it stays the same heat. So, if you want it to cool down, you move it off. Disgusting, I mean. Put it off. So when I start with potatoes, I hate cutting potatoes. I make my hands really weird and choppy. For the cornstarch or whatever it is. Starch. There's my dog. Under the table. After I just rough chop them. In school it was all about perfect little squares and da-da-da. But to me it's like, well, my parents are going to go, oh, I just picked up a wonderful little piece of, potato. The whole point of that is that way everything is even, everything cooks evenly. But I have made this before, so I just cut it in little pieces. It's easier, faster, and it's kind of like being at Norm's, because, their soups aren't all evenly chopped. But it'll still cook if they're at least all around the same size. Alright, so if you aren't interested to go to Cordon Bleu, I'm not bad. I think you're saying not to go. I'm just saying that's a lot of money. They teach you a lot. Yeah, they're kind of strict, somewhat. And they teach you how to cut the potato in like trillions of different ways, different things you can cut out of it. There's names to everything. And it's been a while actually since I've actually even used my knife for chopping. Really rusty. It's been like almost a year. Anyways, when you go to the school, I don't know if it's changed now. When I went, we had pretty cool teachers. Staying 5 hours, 6 hours straight of cooking. And clean your mess up, get graded, get yelled at. But it's not like the Chef Ramsay thing. Not always at least. Not until you're in the kitchen. When you're cooking at, or if you're working at the bistro. That's like a 5-star restaurant, and they're putting like these close to amateurs in there sometimes. So it doesn't matter how many potatoes you put in. I'm just gonna put 2 more. I think that's enough for a soup pan that size. I don't need any, so it don't matter. Not that I don't like my own, not that I don't like my own cooking or trust my own cooking, I just don't see. So if you can be close there, that way I don't have to yell loud.
The lighting.
Huh?
It's
the
lighting.
lighting? The lighting, guys, sorry. Can't hear me, I'll, write what I say. But I don't feel like screaming, and then my mother coming in here like, why are you talking to yourself? And then get scared because she's on camera like my dad did. And that's a different story. You don't want to catch my mom on camera. She'll kill you. Like the chupacabra. Botulism, you get botulism from this. Which botulism? Is Botox. Didn't know. So that poison that can kill you is what they put in your face. Younger. But yeah, so if you didn't know that, then it's fact. So I think that should be enough. Potatoes are very uneven. Obviously, they taught us to cut down the middle, then cut down the middle, and this part I kind of forgot. Sometimes they cut straight down the middle, sometimes they cut again. The thing about potatoes is that they stick to your knife because of the starch. So, let's look at that piece. And then sometimes the chefs would want you to cut right down here. And this would be a special way. You do this with onions too, and you just cut, and they kind of be like little blocks. See? That's how they want you to do it. Cutting. I cut very dangerously, so no one copy me. It's supposed to be knuckles, so you cut your knuckle, not your finger off. But I live dangerously. Obviously, always wash your hands after everything you handle. Don't want to contaminate yourself or people or food. Let me go check on this. You can look inside. See how everything got, it's not mushy, but everything is just kind of relaxed looking. So, best thing is to put this on because it's almost steaming it. It's causing it to, without using much fat, it's causing it to already cook. So let me chop this last thing up. Again, I don't measure, so for the flour, you're going to have to bear with me and check that out somewhere. Or just do what I do, but I would suggest only doing that if you're very sure of yourself and you have money to waste, kind of. Which, I'm going to just say, clam chowder is a very forgiving soup, so, you know, even if you put too much, just make sure you have a bigger pot, because you're going to need to add more liquid, so, yeah. But if you don't put enough, you can always put powder or flour later on. So it's a very forgiving food, just not too forgiving when, like me, I was talking too much, and I burnt it. So luckily I had 2 batches going. But, okay, I got that one. That's not going to go until way later. Right now, if you can come over here real quick. Here's my flour. I'm going to grab a spoon and stare at that food for a while. If you can look inside, it's kind of lightly sprinkle. And I'm going to cook it. You can pick up what you're going to do is just stir it around. You know, use a spoon, but if you got handles and muscles, not that I have much, but if you have some, just do that. It'll cover and coat it, okay? I would suggest putting a little bit more, because it depends on how thick you want your soup. Which is funny because there's a singer called LaRue, and roux is basically what starts gravy. It's just flour and butter, and depending on how long you leave it on the stove is how dark your gravy is. Of course, unless you add beef stock, but still. It'll be light. There you go. I'm still going to add a little bit more. Notice that was 3 tablespoons, but you don't have to go and do that. You can add it on later. Yeah, now that's just, I believe, 1 more. So, 4 tablespoons. You don't have to pour that. Because I don't want to be pulling it for There you go. Now, add some whipping cream. I would hate for this to get rotten right away. Fresh and easy stuff is very fresh, but rot very fast. So if you can look in, or if you're able to already, it's just all that cream is in there. You're not going to want this to boil. You're going to try your best to not make this boil. Okay. And I'm going to add another. So, whoa, very crazy things popping in my face. I have the worst of luck. I'm going to keep some, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. Now to add more, or to make it much more than that, some milk, doesn't matter which kind. To me I use the reduced fat 2%. Which hopefully this is enough. But as you know, you start with the crow and the pebble. The more you put in, the higher it will rise. So I'm just going to do this. Salt and pepper, stuff like that, I wait until the end, because you never know what will change the taste of it to more, if it's saltier or more pepper in there, so I just wait. I don't know, I think I'm going to want more, because this is a lot of people, so obviously this isn't enough. And if I need it thicker, I always got more flour. Maybe go a little more. Now right now it's not going to taste like much, obviously. The main ingredients are still the clams. Okay. And once that's there, I'm just going to put it up there. It's going to be soon for the bacon to go in so it can cook with the rest. And then the potatoes go next. I'm going to wait for those to cook at least a good, When you're done, you add the clams. Seafood cooks fast. Okay? So you can cook seafood with lemon, basically. Most seafood. So you're going to want to put that last, because you don't want it again to be chewy. So these will be next. I am just waiting for this to catch some heat. So I know I said don't let it boil, but right now I'm just trying to get the heat so I can hurry up and do this, because I got people waiting on me, which I might not make it on time. Hopefully 6:30. But can't rush cooking all the time, so it may not come out right. So I will be back. See. Try to keep a clean station, or a mishap will happen. Of course, you're not going to want to let this heat just keep being strictly on the bottom. Stir, move it, because you'll burn anything at the bottom. So this might not even be enough. Again, if it's not enough, then all you got to do is put the bacon back in somewhere. Cook it more, get the fat out, and in a different pot, put more vegetables. So, again, very forgiving. Add an ingredient later on. As you can see already, well, not really, it's not even that thick. It's still liquidy, but flour's still on there. Another thing that's good is that you're going to need a whisk, which I'm already seeing some of the fat come out, so I'm probably going to need, this is not going to work, but there we go. That's horrible. Okay, give my stuff from the front there some attention. That's fine. This is good because now it's going to be mixed with everything. All the powder or flour will release. Good thing. Okay, I'm about ready to add some more flour because it's kind of scaring me how thin it is. So count that as a half. You all make mistakes. Mix it in wet because you don't want little things. The thing about this, because of the heat, the unmixed flour will be on the top. So you'll see anything that's on there. For right now. But it's getting harder to mix it right now. Maybe that's why. Yeah, that's why. I was thinking, oh, it's getting thicker. Okay. So I'm going to add the rest of this bacon in. My nice little fingers on it.
All the fat's in the pan.
Yeah, there's all the fat, guys. All the fat I needed. Just let it sit there, which I should have done that. When you let bacon sit there, the fat will just sneak out. And right now, the fat is rising to the top, so the problem I had mentioned earlier about the fat being on top and all that. It being on top and making it look like that. It's fine. I told you guys how good it is. And if it works, it'd be a good, or if it happens, it'd be a good example to do right now. Now, it's been a long time since I've made this. Since like a year. Kids don't do ever what I do. And other than cook like you. Like that's not even a teaspoon. That's almost about a teaspoon right there. Or a tablespoon, excuse me. Now adding more flour takes a lot of the flavor away. Adding more milk or cream takes a lot of the flavor away. So well not luckily, but mostly do this when none of your clam juice is in there. Just do this mostly now. So this isn't going to smell like anything. So this should help thicken it. If not, then we're doomed. But this, to me, is not looking like a mustard. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. But I'm not eating. I believe my cameraman is not eating. Cameraman Chase is falling asleep.
What's the heat?
Yeah, I know. I believe there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5. There's 4 more to me, but they're getting little bread, so little bread, little soup. Won't matter, they won't tell, because bread will fill you up and they won't even know that there's so little soup. But it's kind of thickening up actually. I'm pretty happy. I mean, just all the junk in there. Well, not junk. Food. Okay, now I think it's about time the potatoes went in because obviously they're going to take the longest. So I'm going to go ahead. Is that all I have left? 20 seconds?
Then I'm going to pull it into the computer so that you have the rest of the time.
Alright people, so as you can
Right
hear,
now it's already almost 30 minutes.
took me that long to talk. So, you guys, there will be a break, obviously. Cameraman just told me. Nice of him to do that.